This video was sponsored by Skillshare.
I am a rewatch is coming. I smell it in the air.
It began with the forging of the great fandoms. 3 seasons of Star Trek were given to the geeks, oldest and wisest of all who are bullied. 7 Harry Potters were given to the dorks, great minors dwelling in middle school halls. And 9 Star Wars were gifted to the race of men children, who above all else desire Ewan McGregor.
Hello there.
But they were all of them de-dweebed, for another fandom was made. Deep in the land of New Zealand, in the choirs of Howard Shore, Peter Jackson forged a masterpiece, and into this trilogy he poured his creativity over flawless casting to dominate the Oscars. One trilogy to rule them all. But then something happened that the trilogy did not intend. It was picked up on 4K Blu-ray by the most likely creature imaginable, my boyfriend. For this isn't a review of The Lord of the Rings. This is a review of what it's like to live with someone who makes me watch Lord of the Rings on an annual basis. Not that I'm complaining. Where to begin? Yes. Concerning gamers. In a room in my house there lives a gamer. Not a nasty, dirty room filled with the ends of gummy worms and a poopy smell, nor yet a bare, empty room with nowhere to sit or tendies to eat. It was a gamer room, and that means
Loud noises!
That's why we started a comedy channel from the perspective of a non-gamer.
Winds howling.
It's a slippery slope dating a gamer. If you step onto that road, there's no telling what nerdy worlds you'll be swept off to. For example, I know so much about the things Marvel chooses to be because every time a new movie comes out, my boyfriend's like,
I'm going on an adventure!
And even though I don't really care about superheroes, I always end up saying,
Don't leave me here alone. Don't go where I can't follow.
So on the way to see Avengers Endgame, my boyfriend had to summarize 21 prequels about a purple scrotum's knuckle rocks. And darkness took me. I strayed out of thought and time. The stars wheeled overhead, and that car ride was as long as a life age of the Earth. But it's not the Marvel Universe, or a galaxy far, far away, or even Gotham City that the mega nerd inside my boyfriend calls home. Home is behind, in some books he's read. And while I genuinely love that a Tolkien mega nerd lives rent-free in my boyfriend's heart, I also try to avoid awkwardness at parties by asking him to
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Nevertheless, about once a year, my boyfriend will vanish and slinker about his man cave for weeks, surviving purely on tedious lore and flavorless appendices. To fully explore Middle-earth, he follows the complicated trail of breadcrumbs left by a dead old British guy. And there are many on my bed. These paths lure him far below his typical nerdy rabbit holes and into what he describes as endless tunnels where time is not counted and the world is gnawed by nameless things.
Starts a conversation like that. I just sat down.
When he starts making funny words at the dinner table, such as, Feodor's creation of the Silmarils from the essence of the 2 trees at Valador did result in his father Fedway's death, but regicide of the High King of Noldor ultimately resulted in the expulsion of Morgoth from Arden and the destruction of the Thangorodorium. That's how I know he's delved too greedily and too deep into the pages of Tolkien again. His funny words might have just sounded like Elvish to the ears of a man, but
I am no man.
I'm his girlfriend, and that's called the Dark Tongue of Mordor in this house. The second he says something about Melkor, talking about Ungoliant, I begin to suspect a power beyond any boobs is corrupting his will, poisoning his mind, tempting him to disappear. So I say,
Do not utter the black speech here or darken the light of day in the Mega Nerd shadow.
Because remember, a Mega Nerd is always listening, always calling to its master.
It wants to be found.
But my boyfriend, who's a block-headed brace girdle from Hardbottle, pays no heed for things better unwoken in the darkness.
There's goodness woke, Mr. Frodo. Potatoes, but I can carry you.
Fool of a took.
hear the drums. The Mega Nerd is coming. My boyfriend's gonna make me watch the Lord of the Rings extended editions again and provide unsolicited trivia the whole time. There's no way out. Oh, and also, how they're made behind the scenes, behind the scenes. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed part 1 of our Lord of the Rings review. This was a review of what it's like to live with a Tolkien mega nerd, but part 2 will be a review of what it's like to actually watch the Lord of the Rings with a Tolkien mega nerd. And if you're anything like Matt, then Middle-earth might have inspired you to do a little fantasy world building of your own. Enter Skillshare, the online learning community that offers classes for anything the mega nerd inside your heart could desire. Take a look at science fiction and fantasy, creating unique and powerful worlds where teacher Lincoln Michelle will take you on a journey through Middle-earth, a galaxy far, far away, and wherever Game of Thrones is to help you shape your own fantastical worlds. But if that's not your toke of pipeweed, don't worry. Skillshare has thousands of classes, from music to web development and everything in between. Skillshare is curated specifically for learning. That means no ads and new premium classes all the time. The first 1,000 people to click the link in the description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium, so you can take the first step to accomplishing your goals and exploring your creativity. Thank you again to Skillshare for supporting our channel, and thank you to the folks that stick around and watch our ad reads. It really means a lot.